Good evening everyone, and welcome to my first YouTube video. My name is Andy and my call sign is Mike Zero Delta Romeo November. Mike Zero Delta Romeo November is my amateur radio call sign. I've been a ham for about 21 years now, I think, and I'm no expert on anything. I guess like most radio hands, we just do what we can and muddle along. But today, I'd just like to introduce you to the fun I have with the hobby. And currently, this video is about the fun I have with medium wave Dxing. I've been doing this, oh my God, from the time I was probably about a young guy. But in those days, you couldn't afford equipment, and you just did what you could with what you could borrow or what you could afford. Right, let's run down with some of the equipment on this side of the shack. This is the whole shack, but I'll show you that on another occasion. But this portion of the shack is the portion I use for medium wave Dxing or medium wave listening. I just run through some of the equipment with you. This lovely beast here is a Rakel RA7L. So that's the Mark III version of this famous receiver, and this particular receiver has been completely modernized and refurbished by Ian Roper, who is Mike Zero UHC. Check his webpage out if you can. Mike Zero UHC, Ian Roper. Sorry, Golf Mike Zero UHC. Oh my God, Golf Mike Zero UHC. He's lives in Scotland, of course. And his speciality is refurbishing Rakel equipment. So this is the Rakel here. The second piece of equipment in the shack is a homebrew receiver. It's a super hit, single conversion super hit, which I've spent some years in developing and improving. And I've made several versions of it, but this particular version I've limited to the medium wave band, so I've wired the VFO so it only covers the medium wave band. But the other versions that I've made, for example like this one here, this covers all this HS spectrum, all the amateur bands, and it does the medium wave bands, and it also does long wave if you want to put a long wave aerial on it. So that's, but this one here is just for the medium wave. The other piece of equipment I've got here, which I use for listening, medium wave Dxing, medium wave listening, is this little Roberts portable. It's a Roberts 817. It's a portable, but it's a good size. It's not small, but it's not too big, and it's quite useful for medium wave Dxing. One of the things I like about it, it's got a tone control on it, so which is useful. It's got an RF gain control, which you can turn up and down. It's got a BFR. I mean, it is a communication receiver, but I say I only use it for medium wave Dxing. It's very, very nice indeed for that. The other things, the aerial system that I use is I've got a little loop antenna here, which I bought off eBay. You're probably familiar with these. I can't remember the model number of it, but they're quite common. There's been quite a lot of videos on YouTube about them. I think this one's about 20 quid, so that's that. But I don't use it inductively. I've actually made a little loop amplifier here, which is based on a MOSFET, and I got that circuit off the internet, and I put a case on it. So that's that. What I've got here is an antenna switch, which switches this loop here and the amplifier between the Rakel, the homebrew, and the Roberts. So this, I'll show you that in operation in a minute. So I can tune the loop aerial up and then compare the reception across the three receivers without having to unplug anything, just by switching that switch there. So it's just a simple, two-pole three-way switch. Yeah. Now I run the entire operation, but obviously, with the exception of the Rakel, I run the entire listening operation by use of a battery, 12-volt battery. This particular battery is just powering this digital display on the homebrew receiver. But in here, I'll show you. In here, this is my car battery, which I use for powering everything on this section here, these two receivers. And the reason I do that is you'll find it's so much quieter. You don't have to worry about mains hum or mobile phone hum or whatever. You know, it's very, very good when you run things off batteries. And I made just a little. This is a little battery junction here, and I made a little 5 volt output here for the Roberts radio, which takes I think 6 volts, but 5 volts will do. That's what I had in store, so I didn't have to buy another voltage regulator. So I just use a 5 volt one, and it delivers 5 volts. So all battery control. Right. So let me just give you a little listen to what I can hear down here. I mean, this is not DX, by the way. This is just at the moment I just show you what I can hear and how the setup works. So at the moment I'll switch over to the Roberts here. Roberts radio here. Turn the volume up. Sorry, Roberts. Turn the volume up. And let's see what we can hear, and I'll just show you how everything works. Right, this is you're gonna hear. This is Radio Somerset mixed in with Histani Radio in Holland. So BBC Radio Somerset and Histani Radio in Holland, which is an Asian radio station in Holland. Not very good reception there at the moment, but I think what I'll do, I'll put it onto a station which I think is always good. This here is Manx Radio in the Isle of Man. By the way, I'm down here in Ramsgate on the map, and the Manx Radio is all the way up here towards the north. So very famous radio station, Manx Radio 1368, which I can hear in the mornings, in the evenings, and all through the night down here. It's a clear channel on here. So Manx Radio 1368, commercial station on the Isle of Man. So you hear it on the Roberts here. I'll flick the switch, turn it to the homebrew receiver here. This is my homebrew receiver. Right, oops, homebrew receiver. I'll turn the volume down, and I'll move it over to 1368. There you go. That's Manx Radio on the homebrew. Manx Radio on the Roberts. Okay. So that's the Roberts Radio commercial receiver. This is my homebrew. Oops. Oh yeah. I'll move the aerial around and tune the aerial up. See, not bad, eh? That's you're hearing it here on the homebrew. Now the station's faded, which happens. It's faded out. I'll just have to wait for it to come back. I'll move over here to the Rakel 1368. 1368. That there. See, this is analog readout. Dial's still fairly accurate. I'll change that round. Rakel RA. Right, so turn the volume up here. There you go. So that's Manx Radio. So that's Manx Radio in the Isle of Man, heard in Ramsgate. And it's 10 past 5 in the afternoon. I think it's the 19th of November today. So that's Manx Radio on the Rakel. Switch to my homebrew. Manx Radio on my homebrew here. Speakers up here. And then I'll switch over to the Roberts. Oops. Manx Radio on the Roberts. It faded earlier, but it's now back in strength. So I'll end it all with hearing it on the Raycol RA. So that's Max Radar. What I'd like to do is bore you with some more videos. I think now I've explained how the station works and how it's set up. Next time I'll show you what I hear from time to time down here in Ramsgate. It may not be anything spectacular, but just a matter of sharing with you. And just to let you know, I do hear North American stations come through. 1010 WINS is quite prolific these days. And there's another Canadian station on 1010 kilohertz, a medium wave band, same frequencies as the American radio station 1010 WINS. Both on the same frequency. I hear those quite often, and there's a few other regular stations. So that's my setup here. Before I go, I sign out. Let's see if I can hear something else. Another UK station. Let's see. So I know. Let's see. That's 1503. I think that BBC Radio Leeds. No, it's not Leeds. I can't remember what that station is. Let's see if we can get Merseyside. There you go. BBC Radio Merseyside, 1585. BBC Radio Merseyside, 1585. Let's briefly see, and let's see if I can hear it on the homebrew. It will be that'll be definitely possible. 1485, beg your pardon. 1485, roughly. 1485. So switch over to the homemade one. BBC Radio Merseyside, 1585 kilohertz, 0.8 on here, but there you go. It's not bad actually. BBC Radio Merseyside, heard in Ramsgate at 5:15. It's not bad. 5:15 in the evening. Not bad. I'll turn that down. Yeah, that's quite a regular down here, and there's a few more. So that just gives you a flavour, folks. And thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I say this is my first ever video. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to show it as it is, and let me know what you think in the description. Thank you very much. This is Mike 0 Delta Romeo November Andy Ramsgate in Kent signing out with you. 7-3 all.